Who's heard of Atlas Service Corps, or commonly referred to as just Atlas Corp? One hand? No. Who's heard of it? One? Maybe. Some people think they've heard of it. A couple. Well, this morning I have an opportunity to tell 100 people about it, and I expect that each of you will tell 100 people. So I think in the next 10 minutes I'll be able to tell 10,000 people about this idea. So thank you very much for that opportunity. Atlas Corps, as it's commonly referred to, it's Atlas Service Corps is our full name, but there is a one-pager on the site. It's a moderately new international nonprofit organization. We've been around for about 4 years now. We just launched our fourth class of fellows. And I previously to launching Atlas Corps worked in the US State Department. I served in New Delhi, India, fighting against human trafficking with some amazing nonprofit leaders. And before that I worked with Ashoka, the International Fellowship of Social Entrepreneurs. Just heard of Ashoka in the room. A little bit more familiarity. Great organization empowering social entrepreneurs around the world. And before that, with President Clinton. So I've kind of bounced between government and nonprofit jobs. And now I'm running this nonprofit. And what I learned, and I also served in Bosnia. I've been in a lot of different countries, Bosnia and Colombia and Slovenia. So I've been blessed with many opportunities to live all around the world, even though I grew up in a small state of Delaware, not too far from here. What I learned in serving all over the world through political and through nonprofit work was how talented people are all over the world. I don't need to tell you guys this. You guys are exactly what I'm talking about. There are smart people all over the place. And while intelligence and creativity and passion are evenly distributed around the world, opportunity is not. Opportunity to leverage that talent, to leverage those skills, to, in the case of our business, to change the world and make a difference, that opportunity is not evenly distributed. So when I was working in India, I was reading Thomas Friedman's The World is Flat. Many of you are familiar with his book. A very core argument, which he says that it doesn't matter anymore whether you're born in Bangalore, a city in India, or Boston, a city up in Massachusetts, that the world is flat, that smart kids win. And this is largely true, especially in the private sector. Again, my experience from India, you would see people from India go to Seattle, and they would invent Hotmail. And that person would become a millionaire, and Bill Gates would become a billionaire. And we all benefit because we now can email each other for free, because the world is flat largely in the private sector. Even in the academic sector, smartest kids around the world go to the best universities. They learn great things, they go back to their countries. Largely, not entirely, the world's flat in the academic sector. Smart kids win. Well, what about the nonprofit sector? What about NGOs around the world? Do you think the world's flat in the NGO sector? I mean, my experience, my limited experience in this, is that for so many years, almost 49 years at least, Americans have gone to serve overseas in the Peace Corps. And how about Peace Corps? Are you all familiar with the Peace Corps here? Good familiarity. That's good, because I was explaining my idea of Atlas Corps to a friend of mine in India, and basically saying Atlas Corps is like a reverse Peace Corps, because we bring Indians to volunteer in the United States, or Colombians, or South Africans, or Kenyans, or Nigerians, or Filipinos. People, or Belgians, all around the world come to volunteer in the United States. And my friend in India said, you know, I like your idea, but why are you against peace? So we're not anti-Peace Corps. We're not a reverse Peace Corps. We're actually very much pro-peace. We actually like the Peace Corps too. We think it's a great program. We think it's such a great program that people around the world should have that opportunity. Long-term service. How great it is that I saw this in the State Department, that you can come to the United States for a three-week program, international visitor program. One of the most, Colin Powell referred to it as the most successful State Department program, is the International Visitor, IVLP program, International Visitor Leadership Program. We're even coming 3 months to Special Olympics. What a great opportunity that is, to come and to learn. Well, I thought there should be more opportunities for year-long service, 12 to 18 months. I thought clearly someone older than myself, someone wiser than I am, someone richer than I am had come up with this idea before. And there's some small examples of it here and there. But the truth is the visa is very complicated. As I'm sure you know, visas are very complicated. Financing is complicated too. But having worked at Ashoka in the State Department, I unveiled this new model, which I call a multinational service corps, where we currently have leaders from 12 different countries volunteering in DC and Baltimore for 12 to 18 months, and we send Americans abroad, right now to Bogota, Colombia, and soon to New Delhi, India, primarily because those are cities where I lived. I envision a world where talented people and good ideas can cross borders to address the most critical issues of the world. If smart people can cross borders to invent email, if people can come here to become doctors or nurses, why don't we get some of the best people working on environmental issues, women's issues, youth issues, issues with disabilities? All of these big social issues that exist in the world, we need to find more creative and sustainable ways for people to be working together.